For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, we are live and amplified. So let's get ready to podcast.
Fire it up.
Hey, how's it going?
There we go. Hey, Tom. Good to finally get with you.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's been a long, crazy day, but I'm glad to get you on here and glad to sit down and chat with you a little bit.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're obviously streaming already on YouTube. We've been streaming since 10 a.m. this morning because I'm a crazy person. So for the people that are just getting introduced to you, take this second to introduce yourself and kind of what Boredom Corporation is all about.
Yeah, here we go. Do this, then people will be reminded. There we go. Change the little name there. The Boredom Corporation, I like to call the imaginary rock band. It's just me. I do that. I do all of it, even on stage. So I literally recorded all right in here. I just lay down some tracks and I play to a backing track on stage with some raucous drums and guitars and synths and the whole gamut, and literally just pretend I'm playing in Green Day. That's how it all started. So
awesome. That's awesome. Have you is there any aspirations of eventually adding people?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it started as a band. And then when we all went to different universities, I just was doing that in my room, and my friend came to me and he's like, why don't you just do this in front of an audience? And here we are.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I go back and forth on it. Do I want to, like, it's so easy to just put songs together and then take them out and play them. And you don't have to teach anybody. It doesn't take any time. So, but it's a lot more fun with a band. So I go back and forth.
Yeah, for sure. You know, scheduling's a lot easier because it's just yourself. But once you finally get out there and start doing something out on the road, it's like it might be fun to have like a full crew with you. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I have Logic open right behind you here. So like it's so quick and easy, and it's just so much fun. So I'm in the process of starting that search.
Yeah,
so
gotcha.
I'm not in any hurry, but it is definitely going to happen eventually.
Awesome. And where are you based out of?
I am in beautiful Boise, Idaho.
Gotcha. That's right. Yeah. How do you like Idaho?
Oh, I love it. I mean, I was born and raised here.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's gotten pretty famous for being the place to be.
Uh-huh.
So, and I certainly can't blame anybody. This place, I mean, I never want to leave, and I can't blame anybody for ever wanting to come. So yeah, it's amazing. The music scene is really, it was really taken off before COVID, and now it's slowly climbing back.
Yeah. I almost moved to Boise about 2.5 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I would say you missed an opportunity.
Well, no, I ended up not getting the job that I was applying for.
Oh yeah. Well,
because it was one of those deals. I work for a TV station, and so the company that I was working for, I was in Tallahassee, Florida at the time. The company that owned us, they had a job opening. They had 2 job openings. One was in Boise, and then one was in Twin Falls, which
not far.
I guess is like a suburb or something. Yeah. And it was all the same station. And the guy I was interviewing with, he was like, so would you rather be in Boise or Twin Falls? And it's like, well, I don't know anything about Twin Falls, but
Boise.
Yeah. So I'd rather be in Boise. He's like, okay, well, we'll just set up the interviews and whatnot, but you're more of a fit for what we need in Twin Falls. And I'm like, I mean, whatever, like I'll go wherever you need me to go. Yeah. And so then long and short of it, I didn't end up getting the job. But what I had done was, as I was going through the interview process, I had started just sticking my neck into the Boise music scene and just started introducing myself like, hey, I'm looking to move here. What do you guys think? You know, all that fun stuff. And I started meeting some really cool people. And yeah, so I've been paying attention for a little bit at least. So
yeah, no, it's my favorite place. I left for college and I came ripping back.
Yeah, you know,
I wasn't about to leave.
That's always the interesting thing is like I grew up in the South Side of Chicago, and I every day I was there, it was like, man, I can't wait to get out of here. Can't wait to get out of here.
Yeah.
And so, and that was like the common thing amongst all my friends. It's like, oh, we can't wait to get out of here. There's nothing to do here. You know, place sucks, yada, yada. And so once we all went to college, I left, never came back, but all my friends came running right back. They're like, oh, we don't want to be anywhere else. So that's always kind of the interesting perspective on things. So
yeah, that's how one of my favorite albums is all about. American Idiot.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the whole thing.
Yep. Where'd you end up going to school?
I went to a school called it was the University of Idaho, which is like 5.5 hours north of here in a town called Moscow. It's 5 or 10 minutes from Washington State University.
Gotcha.
So, literally right on the Washington Idaho border. I mean, you can see exactly where the border is.
Yeah. Right now, you can probably see the line of marijuana smoke sitting on the Washington border side.
Oh, literally at the border, I can look across and there's a pot shop like not even half a mile down the highway. It's right there.
That's very funny. Very, very funny. That's really cool. So you went there for 4 years and then decided, okay, it's that's where the Boredom Corporation, as it is right now, kind of started. Nice. And it just is blossomed from there. Nice. So is it fair to say that it blossomed out of boredom? Is that where the name kind of comes from?
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, I never even thought of that. I would play my band, when we had a band, we had songs that we had played in shows in Boise, and I just wanted to record them, so I just started recording them in I think like I actually recorded the first one in a video editing software, not a music editing software.
Yeah.
And then that was high school, but you got to college and got a real DAW and started recording stuff just in my room there, like with one like a USB mic, and then just taking the guitar direct in and using some fake amplifiers and some amp modelers on the software, and just kind of took it from there. And then I was just in my room one day, just playing along to it, just the track, the drums, and I just took out the parts I wanted to play. And my friend came in, he's like, hey, why don't you go, we're having a party downstairs or over here. Why don't you, I'll set up the sound system. Why don't you just come play it?
Nice. Hey,
and here we are. I'm in too deep now.
So that was kind of your first unofficial gig, I guess.
Yeah, it was in the backyard of my fraternity up at Idaho.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was, and I there was really no planning around it. I just kind of just did it, and then I had an actual gig in town there not much long after. So
awesome.
Yeah, then finally put out some songs on Spotify.
Yeah. And you released a full-length album this year, correct?
Yeah, with my third. Yeah. Third full length came out in January, if not now when. It was I started recording it like my senior year of college, and then finished it. I finished it like almost a year before it came out. I just when COVID hit, I was like waiting for the right time. I was like, if this blows over real quick, I'll have a big release show and have a big party. And I obviously didn't. So finally I was like, I'm just gonna release it because I'm too antsy. I started writing other songs already. So
I got you. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Was there any thought of just releasing them as singles to kind of play to the algorithms, if you will, or was it always just like, no, I'm gonna just keep it as is? And this will probably be the last like traditional album style release I'll have. I did some singles. I did 3 leading up to it. But I kind of like the idea of just doing like, you take a 12 song full length album and you release it in 3 or 4 EPs, throughout a year.
and just kind of build on that. So if you have if you have a concept album, it'd be kind of cool where you could release 3 and then it's almost like a series, like a movie series.
Yeah.
So that's probably the way I'm going to go next. I don't have enough songs to do it yet, but
yeah.
I've got 2 different albums in the works right now that are very different from each other. So, hopefully something next year will happen.
I mean,
it's something to happen.
It's just everything that I've kind of seen. Obviously, we don't know. There's the pandemic's taught us anything, we don't know anything about anything.
No.
It's just one of those deals where 2022 looks like it could be really good for a lot of people, but as life has taught us, not always.
No, I agree. It's that's what I've been doing mostly, is just like during the initial lockdown, I actually didn't record very much. I was here, all the golf courses were open, so I was golfing every single day. Nice. As much as I could. So I didn't really record very much. I didn't have anything to write about, really. I just couldn't, major writer's block. So it just kind of was put on hold. I just record a bunch of covers. I just got a huge arsenal of cover songs now. So
yeah. What do you think? Why do you think you were suffering from writer's block? Like I've heard that a lot from musicians early on during the pandemic, that they went through like a weird writer's block. Do you think it was because of just not being able to get out and experience life, or what do you think it was contributing to
I don't know. I thought it would be a great opportunity to finally break out of some writer's block and sit down and come up with something. But I think, like you said, that there just wasn't much interaction going on, not really talking to people face to face, really hashing out what you think about things. So they just never showed up. And it just finally, one day here, sitting right here, I had, out of 15 minutes, I had 3 new guitar licks and pieces of songs. It was just bam, bam, bam. And I love when that happens, but they've started to come a lot easier recently. And I think that's because I've been out and about and hanging out with people and talking to people. So
yeah, for sure.
It's been good. I think that's the correlation.
Yeah, for sure. But so just to kind of transition a little bit here, we are here to help raise funds and awareness for pancreatic cancer. I lost my mother in July, as anybody that's been following us for any normal amount of time, not, saying anything, but so that brings me to my next question. Have you had any experiences or losing family members to cancer or pancreatic cancer in general?
Yeah, actually, we've had a few family members. I just remembered, I thought we had a family friend die of cancer. I thought it was pancreatic, but it was prostate. But I was thinking of that all day, and then I just remembered I was wrong. We've had a few. My aunt had pretty aggressive breast cancer for a while, but she's fine now. One that really hit me hard is I have a close friend from college whose sister ended up diagnosed with leukemia. Yeah, acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and she's not even 30. Wow. So it was pretty rough, and she and I are pretty close. So yeah, we've been talking a lot, and she lives in town, so we see each other a lot. So
and how's she doing?
Yeah, she's actually in remission. She's on the slate to get a bone marrow transplant. So nice. Which apparently is the best chance at a full-on cure, or what can be a cure. Yeah. And it happened pretty quickly. My friend was telling me I was getting the sense that it was it's not looking good. We don't know what's going to happen. And then suddenly she sends me a text hey, great news. And so, yeah, it was good to hear. I was surprised, and she's with her now at home. So, I was pleased to hear that. So it has not had a huge impact in my life, but when it does, it definitely rears its ugly head.
Yeah, for sure. It's just one of those things where the last 3 years or so have just been like nut punch after nut punch. Cause my dad in 2019, my dad was diagnosed with prostate cancer. He's good in remission for, I don't know if they call it in remission or if he's fully recovered at this point, but
either way,
he's good. And then the week my dad got his notice that he's good was the day before my mom's birthday. And so it was like, okay, cool. And then went into the birthday, they had something to celebrate, everybody's good. Everybody's got a clean bill of health. And then the next day my mom gets diagnosed with pancreatic cancer.
That is nut punch after nut punch.
Yeah. And so after she got diagnosed, I was down in Florida for a good little bit to kind of help them get through.
I remember you posted something on Facebook about that.
Yeah. I was there for a bit, and it was one of those things where I tried to podcast when I could, and my mom got mad at me for not podcasting more. And I'm sitting there like,
that makes sense.
It's like, I'm down there. I'm up at 6 a.m. because I got to make sure the house is clean. I got to make sure everybody's getting what they need. And then I got to go work 8 hours. Yeah. The last thing I want to do is, after being up for 14 hours already, is
do a podcast.
So
I certainly can't blame you.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's just like, but she enjoyed it when I did do them, and she would sit outside the bedroom that I was in and just kind of listen to a conversation.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, but
nice family moment.
Yeah, for sure. So that's kind of when she got diagnosed, I automatically started thinking of what I could do, because that's just kind of the motivation that I needed. Like, it's too late to really do anything for her, but let's see what else I can do. But even early on, then we didn't know how bad it really was. Like, we thought we had a year. We thought we were going to be able to like really fight. We had a fighting chance.
Yeah.
But, it was just so late in the game that a month after I moved down or went down there full time in May 8th, I went down there Mother's Day, which was a nice timing because I got there Mother's Day morning and I got to spend the day with her. And, and then beginning of June, she just took like a really weird turn.
Yeah.
And she just went downhill from there. So
yeah, that's the worst part about it, is that you have like no idea.
Yeah, for sure. It's
just driving in the dark without your headlights on.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And it's one of those things where you take her in for like chemo and stuff, and they're saying, oh, it's going to at least help her, with like pain management and stuff. And it wasn't. It was just killing her quicker. And it's like, had we not put her on chemo, would she still be around? Would she have lived longer? Would she have been in more pain? You just don't know. So
it's one of those woulda, coulda, shoulda game.
Yeah. The woulda, coulda, shoulda. It'll hurt you every time. So
yeah, I agree.
But so yeah, just to kind of drive that home, if you're out here listening, make sure you're on the lookout for that stuff, because it'll catch you and you won't know until it's too late. And at that point, you just gotta throw up a hope and a prayer. And
right. Yeah, I know it sucks.
It does. It really does.
There's no way around it.
Yep. But that's why we're doing the fundraiser today, because thanks to PanCan, the nonprofit that we're supporting, they were able to raise survival rate from 4% to 10%.
Oh, that's great. I didn't know that.
It's moving in the right direction, but it took them over 20 years to get it there. So it's just kind of like,
that's how it goes. And then watch when I'm 50, it'll be like a 90%. It'll just it'll take a J curve and just take off.
Yeah, probably. So, but yeah, so I don't want to spend the entire 30 minutes on that, but just a few minutes to talk about it is always
of course.
Good. So kind of moving forward with your music, do you have any shows on the schedule for the rest of the year, or what is the rest of your year looking like?
Not the rest of this calendar year. I'm kind of glad, doing shows in December and late November. I mean, scheduling really gets tough.
Mm-hmm.
I spend a lot of time up northern Idaho.
Yeah.
In the winter skiing. So it just makes scheduling a little harder. So yeah, look into January and February for some new stuff. Yeah, I just kind of take them as they come. It's not something I really am really driving home really hard right now. I'm more focused on the recording and writing process.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's next year I'll definitely be trying a little harder to do it, but
well, when like the hope is by the end of the holidays, we'll kind of be back into normal, whatever that means.
Yeah.
And we'll kind of see where everything sits after that.
Yeah. Especially in Boise, everything's so seasonal. You're not going to find a ton of live music in the winter. It'll be just in the venues, like the concert venues in town, some bars. But in the summertime, the bars that can open up, open their doors and their windows and the bars with the patios, that's where you get, it's like endless live music
for sure
everywhere in town. So
for sure.
I definitely take advantage of the summers.
Nice. And what are the winters like in Boise? I've always been kind of curious. I get mixed messages.
Mixed. When I talk. That's it. That's what it is. Some years it is pretty mild and it usually goes by the month. So like, I remember my senior year of high school, we had the coldest November on record. It was like 9 degrees one day. But just last weekend, it was 65 degrees here. So, my sophomore year in college, we had the most snow we've ever had. And then immediately the year after, we didn't get like any snow. So it's really back and forth. Decembers can get, maybe December we'll get no snow, and then January, February we'll get a ton, or it'd be vice versa. We'll get all the snow in December, and then January, February we won't get any. It's very back and forth, but the only consistent part is that it's usually cold.
Yeah, for sure.
January will stay in the 20s pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Every now and then you'll get like a mid 40s day, 50s day if you're lucky.
I'm kind of glad
what's that?
He said, I'm kind of glad I didn't make the move. I can't stand the cold. Last year or this year, January, February, it got, you saw the news in Texas. It was insanity.
We were talking about having a podcast then and you had lost power.
Yeah. Yep. That's right. It was a pretty insane.
It's not that bad here.
Yeah. It was one of those things. Like I remember when we did have power, it was like, all right, cool. And they were so worried about us losing power again that they're like, okay, keep your thermostat as low as you can bear it.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to strain out this power grid.
Yeah. So I could only imagine. Yeah. We haven't had anything like that here that I can remember. I know there was I think our coldest day ever was negative 25.
Yeah.
And that was my first winter alive.
Yeah.
And it has not happened since.
Yeah, for sure. We're lucky
we don't have that all the time.
Yeah. So as we kind of start wrapping this up, one thing that we've been doing on every one of these interviews is asking a random question from our random question generator.
Awesome. I love that.
So I'm going to give this one big spin. And if you are ready, I have your question.
Cool. Ready.
If safety wasn't an option, would you rather ride a lion or swim with sharks?
Swim with sharks, for sure. Okay. Hands down. I've always wanted to do that. I've never thought of riding a lion, but that swimming with sharks, I would love to do.
Nice. Awesome. Okay.
I've met people that have done it, and just seeing it on TV. I loved Shark Week when I was little.
I was gonna say somebody watches Shark Week, don't they?
Yeah, right.
That's funny.
I've always wanted to do that. So if I had that opportunity, I would absolutely take it. I've never been scuba diving, so I'd just go that far.
Yeah. I don't know if I would swim with sharks, but if safety wasn't a concern, like it wasn't a thing I had to worry about, I'd probably, I'd give it a go.
Yeah,
for sure.
So. I hands down would swim with sharks. That's a funny question because
some of them are like, some of them I'll have to like sweep through because they're kind of lame questions. Like, I just don't feel comfortable asking that person that question.
Either end of the spectrum.
Yeah, and so it's just kind of like most of the time they're pretty. I don't want to say tame, but they're pretty like right in the pocket of where they need to be. So that's
PG.
good.
That's where you want to be.
Yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, so thank you so much for jumping on here. For anybody that wants to check out your music or anything else that you got going on, where's the best place to do that?
Yeah. I try to push Instagram. So follow me on Instagram. That's where you can get most of my information. I'm on Facebook as well. Just all at the Boredom Corporation. And then you can find all my music on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Music. I mean, literally anywhere. Deezer, like Tidal, Jay-Z's streaming service. It's all there. If you make a TikTok video, you can put my music in it.
Nice.
So I'm not on TikTok, but my music is.
Nice.
And then reach out. Send me a message. I can definitely know where to get the cool stuff. So
awesome. Yeah,
follow me and I won't spam you. I promise. And boredomcorporation.com. You can go to boredomcorporation.com. Get digital downloads of music there and all kinds of cool stuff. I have a whole merch store on there. So go check it out.
Yeah, for sure. Have you thought about experimenting with like the NFT market space? Are you in on any of that stuff? Or?
No, I know what it is. I have not even thought about, like, not even gone that far. I dabbled in cryptocurrency in college, and that was enough risk I wanted to take.
Yeah.
And then I know what they are. I've never bothered to even try.
There's some definite possibilities and some definite options there, but it's one of those deals where it's just like, you got to have a following, or you got to know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I need to get the following first.
Yeah.
So go listen on Spotify. Everybody go listen on Spotify.
Yes, absolutely. But once again, thank you so much for jumping on. Absolutely appreciate it.
Yeah,
thank you everybody for tuning in and just being here, hanging out with us all day. We're here for a very good cause of raising funds and awareness for pancreatic cancer research through PanCan. They've been funding research since 1999, and they've been able to help raise the survivability rate from 4% to 9% or 10%. My brain is mush right now. Who knows?
I bet.
So they've been able to raise it to 10% for anybody that's been diagnosed with, or for anybody being diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. So that's great, but not anywhere where it needs to be. So if you're wanting to donate and support, the links there's on YouTube, it's in the description and it's pinned in the comment section. Or if you're running around our social media, it is pretty much posted everywhere there. So it all counts, it all goes. So any support would be much appreciated. Even give us a share. That would be amazing as well.
Yep.
So, but once again, thank you so much for joining us. And we will be back in about 30 minutes with John Connor. I promise that's the right act this time. So
thanks, Tom. I really appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Yep. Thank you.
Right.
See ya.
Bye.